It's me, MLB. Here is one for the boys. Gojo with a male listener. That's all. That's it. Let's get to it. This is Digimon Date. Gojo x male listener. Enjoy. Come on, Satoru. Hurry up, you called, jumping off the train. We're going to be late. For what? He asked, sauntering behind you with hands in pockets, his bright blue eyes watching you from behind tinted glasses. Come on, just hurry. I promise you'll love this, you said, knowing that he would. You had known Gojo since before Jujutsu High, before middle school, before primary school. His family and yours were close, so you were pretty sure that you had locked eyes with him as soon as you had popped out of the womb. At first you just thought it was because you were around him all the time and that's why you really enjoyed his company and looked up to him, but as you got older you realised it was more than that. It was more than being just close to him. There was a romantic element to it, and only a few weeks before this date you had managed to gather the courage to ask him out. He had said yes, but you still felt like you needed to somehow impress him. But how do you impress someone like Gojo Satoru? The man was basically a god, and in his own words, I have no hobbies. I've always been good at everything. Bruh, how do you work with something like that? So you had racked and racked and racked your brain until finally you thought of something that might pique his interest. You remembered that in high school you two had bonded quite heavily over Digimon. Since then, life had gotten so hectic that neither he nor you had had the chance to dabble in it again. What better way to reminisce the past than go to a Digimon-focused event? You hadn't told him it was a Digimon event. You were gonna just surprise him, and he had not been super keen on that. He hadn't been sure about this surprise, but when you both got off the train and you saw the giant billboard ahead pointing out the entrance to the Digimon expo, Gojo paused and stared at it. You also stopped and stared up and then spun around to grin at him proudly. This is it? He asked, looking up at the billboard. Yeah, you said excitedly. You think this is gonna excite me? He asked, looking at you over the top of his glasses. Your face fell slightly. Had you messed up? Oh yeah, bro, he suddenly said with excitement. Let's go! Your fading smile got a reboot and you whooped as he bolted past you and ran for the door to the stadium, with you laughing your ass off behind him. Don't start falling for Mimi Tachikawa now, Gojo called over his shoulder as he ran ahead of you, his smirk making your heart skip a beat. I'm gay as hell, bro. What makes you think I'm going to fall for her? You called back as you chased him. Isn't that who you told me you liked back in high school? Gojo asked as he slowed, and you caught up, grabbing him in a headlock, which he easily got out of. I lied, you said, smirking back at him. Gojo punched you lightly in the arm and then strode on ahead into the exhibit, smiling at the girls on the door who just stared at him, practically drooling as you pulled your phone out from your pocket to show them the tickets that you had bought. But when you saw how Gojo had just walked into the exhibit without even being questioned, you wondered what the point of buying the tickets even was. This man is a walking god, can go wherever he wants and do as he pleases, and no one bats an eye, you thought, as you caught up to him inside and grabbed him by the shoulders and then tried to jump up onto his back but failed. You think you're going to ride me to victory? Gojo joked, repelling your swift arm attacks with his own once you'd stepped up to the side and tried to spar with him. Oh, you know I can ride you to victory, you smirked in reply, making Gojo's eyes widen a little before he looked away. Later, hotshot. I got merch to collect, Gojo said, halting your playfulness when he saw something ahead that he liked. Wait, you called when you saw him sprinting towards the giant Digimon plushie booth. Who's going to pay for all this? You? You're taking me on this date, aren't you? Treat me like your lady, Gojo said, striking a pose before winking at you. Bro, you're not my lady. You're my man. You better square up and pick responsibly because I'm not buying any more than 3 of those giant things, you said. Gojo spun to face the wall of giant plushies and smirked over his shoulder at you. What if I domain expand this place and knock them all off? No one will know, he said cheekily. Don't you dare, you threatened. Oh, ice cream, Gojo suddenly said, looking to his left. Bro, it's like taking a kid into a fun park, you said, groaning and slapping your hand to your face, then dragging it down. I want one, Gojo shouted from where he had run over to the ice cream stall. Wait, hold up, don't order yet, I gotta supervise you called as you jogged over. That day was a great one for Gojo. He got autographs, plushies, all the food he could want or need, and you got to see your boyfriend having the time of his life. He was a chaotic mess, but you loved him and his unserious side, so you guessed watching him struggle to carry 3 giant Digimon plushies around was a little bit of an amusement for you too. Take this for me? Gojo asked, holding out a giant Palmon plushie for you to hold. No, you scoffed. You have to hold that one, you replied. Okay, how about this one? He then asked, holding out a giant Agumon plushie. You wanted them, you hold them, you chided him. Geez, why do I sound like a parent parenting my child? You tell me, Gojo replied with a smirk, his face only just visible through the plushies. Just then the Digimon theme song started from nearby, and Gojo nearly gasped himself into his own void he inhaled so deeply. There's something happening over there, he shouted, running headfirst towards the sound with all 3 plushies jingling around so much it was beyond comical to watch, and you laughed heartily as you ran behind him. Keep up, old-timer, Gojo called from within his plushies, and it made you laugh even more. Into a massive room you both ran, joining about 1,000 more spectators who were all looking towards a stage that had strobe lights flashing around on it. As the theme song came to a pinnacle, people dressed up in Digimon costumes came jumping out, dancing and spinning and doing all that they could to entertain the masses. And entertain they did. You weren't sure about the others there, but your man was certainly into it. All you could hear was him screaming the lyrics from inside his plushie fort, and it set you off laughing hard again. Revisiting your thoughts before about the day, it hadn't been just okay. By now, you had decided it had been a great day for you. You could have cared less about how Gojo felt about it at that point. After the intro, the actors on stage reenacted a scene from Digimon. You weren't sure what scene it was, but Gojo certainly did, yelling out what they should be doing from the back of the crowd. He was well and truly invested. After the show, and after yelling and screaming for the past hour and a bit, he was well and truly exhausted and asked for some food which you were ready to eat again too. Yeah, I guess today has been alright, Gojo said as he sucked his personalised Digimon cup, complete with crazy straw. Only alright? You asked as you sat back with a takeaway coffee cup in hand and a smirk on your face. You seemed like you were having more than just an alright time. He shrugged, sucking on his straw again. You snorted with amusement and leaned forwards. Let me try that drink, you said, nodding towards it. Gojo clutched it to himself and let out a playful growl. Oh, come on, I won't drink it all, I just want one sip, you said. Fine, he replied, relinquishing the drink towards you. You placed your lips over the straw and took a little sip of it and then pulled a face. I guess it's alright, you shrugged. Gojo gasped. You take that back, this drink is the most amazing thing ever, he joked. You snorted. Bro, what? You said everything here was just alright, you said. Except this drink. It's amazing, Gojo said with a smirk, before placing his lips over the straw and sucking up some more of the sweet drink inside. You watched him, thinking about how his lips felt against yours, and then blushed and looked away. Oh, hey, now what are you thinking? Gojo asked, having noticed the look on your face since he rarely missed watching your expressions. Nothing, you grunted. Should we go back now? Gojo asked. We can have a little alone time in my room. The heat in your face rose and you cleared your throat again. I mean, not going to say no, you mumbled, trying to play it cool. Gojo smirked. Well, I've had a good day so far anyway, and I've seen all I want to see, so let's go, he said, finishing the rest of his drink before scooping up his plushies and reaching a hand out to yours. You stood up then too and took his hand. Okay, if you're ready to go, you said, sipping more of your coffee. Yep, he said, letting your hand go and then spinning to the exit. You smirked and followed him, noting that the girls on the door again didn't even ask to see any idea or anything as he walked out, untouched. While he stood on the other side of the exit gate waiting for you to sign out, he thought back over the day, noting that most of his memories were of looking at you and watching your face light up when he seemed to be having a good time, or you laughing at his antics, and he smiled to himself. Yin put in so much effort into this day, but in actual fact, he could have taken me anywhere. As long as I'm with him, it's a great time, he thought, smiling to himself as you walked over to him to head back to the dorms. But I'm not about to tell him that. You ready to go? You asked him as you stepped up beside him. Yeah, Gojo said with a smirk. Let's go. Plain and simple, done, dusted, low stakes. Happy listening. I hope you enjoyed that one. Stay tuned for next week. There will be another Jujutsu Kaisen character coming up. I won't say who it is because I haven't decided who it is yet. Stay tuned for, what's today, Wednesday? Oh, tomorrow is Shattered Image. So I'll see you all then.